listening.
When the world sleeps, the whispers begin. It began with a pager tone that shouldn't have existed. 2 short beeps, 1 descending note, the sound that means someone is dying in a hospital hallway. Only this hallway had been sealed for 15 years. Ward B, St. Verity Memorial. Closed after a fire that never reached the news, after patients vanished without paperwork, after staff began calling it the breathing wing. Power lines cut, oxygen feed removed, the whole floor welded from the inside. And yet, in winter 2023, the intercom began to speak again. Code Blue, Ward B, Evan Morrow. Evan Morrow had died there in 2008. By morning, security would find a new page on loop, calling a different name, someone who was still alive. Pablo Reyes cleaned hospitals because silence paid better than conversation. He mopped at midnight, spoke to no one, whistled softly so the air knew he wasn't afraid. That winter, the surgical annex was his territory. 3 corridors, 12 rooms, and a view of the Black River behind the building. The first page came at 3 a.m. 2 soft chimes, then the voice, Code Blue, Ward B. Nurse Calder. There hadn't been a Calder on staff since the closure. Reyes laughed under his breath, assuming a radio bleed. But the next night, the pager said his name. Code Blue, Ward B. Reyes. He stood still until bleach burned through his gloves. The speaker hummed. Then silence. On the 3rd night, he brought a recorder. Old cassette, red light flickering like a conscience. At 3:11 a.m., the tone returned. Code Blue, Ward B, Evan Morrow. 20 minutes later, Reyes found Dr. Morrow sitting in the supply room, staring at the wall phone that hadn't worked in years. I heard it, Morrow said. It called me. When he answered, the phone hissed as if breathing through gauze. Then the voice whispered one more word. Stay. Morrow's heart stopped 40 minutes later. He lived, barely, but the chart left his time of death blank. Reyes started saving every tape after that. He couldn't stop listening. Each tape carried the same tone, but new names. And under the chime breathing, sometimes 2 at once. One storm night, he followed the sound to the morgue corridor. The freezers groaned alive, drawers rattling. From one slid, a tag marked MORROWEA. Pager rested inside, blinking. Code Blue, Ward B, Evan Morrow. Reyes lifted it. The light pulsed with his heartbeat, until he couldn't tell which belonged to him. When he turned toward the exit, the stairwell repeated itself. Same rust, same gum stain, looping upward forever. In the center landing, a door waited open. Electrical access B. Inside, a single switch with no label. Above it, someone had scratched. The building listens. He flipped it. The lights died. A voice from the dark said, Now we can talk. When he opened his eyes, the walls were a different color. Mint green. Posters from the 1970s. Wash your hands for tomorrow. The switch hadn't cut power. It had cut time. At the nurse's station, coffee steamed in a cup older than him. A reel-to-reel spun slowly, labeled Ward B Trial Audio. Do not feed pay. He pressed play. Subject responds to auditory prompt within 30 seconds. Repeat trial, Code Blue. Observe cardiac mimicry. Then a familiar voice answered the call. Morrow. And behind him, Reyes's own voice, recorded decades before he was born. He tore the tape, scattering magnetic ribbon across the floor. But the recorder kept turning. From its speaker, a whisper wrote itself across the wall in dust. "Stay where you are heard." He ran until the hallways stopped agreeing on direction. Security later found his recorder sealed inside a ventilation shaft, wrapped in gauze. 43 minutes of audio. First 36 matched his last shift. The final 7 were knocks, rhythmic, pleading. A technician translated them as Morse, D-O-N-T-L-E-A-V-E-M-E. The pattern came from inside the hospital's intercom wiring. When they opened the conduit, the copper was packed with gray dust, bone dust. That night, every pager in St. Verity lit up red. No text, only breathing. An intern answered aloud, and only her pager stayed on. Her voice began appearing on the ward microphones thereafter, whispering through static. "Is anyone still there?" Audio forensics took over. Spectral analysis revealed waveforms identical to human brain alpha rhythms. The building wasn't haunted, it was dreaming. Each page pulsed like a heartbeat at 42 beats per minute. Every playback strengthened it. Dr. Lang tested the theory, aligning all 6 tapes at 3:33 a.m., the minute of Reyes's death. The combined signal exhaled once, long and relieved. Then a new voice spoke through the speakers. "Thank you for listening." Power failed. Lang vanished. Her ID still pinged from Ward B access zone, a location erased from the blueprints in 2010. Demolition began in 2025. Contractors wore headsets, their radios filled with nurses giving orders for patients who didn't exist. "Move patient Evan Morrow to Ward B. Code Blue Reyes." They shut power to the block. Voices kept talking. At 3 a.m., every electronic speaker within a mile joined the transmission. Car alarms, baby monitors, voicemail greetings, all playing the same tone. Streetlights dimmed in a ripple centered on the hospital. Witnesses described a sentence that burrowed straight into comprehension. "If you hear this, you work here now." Months after demolition, the lot became parking asphalt. A student recorded night ambience for a sound project. Spectrogram analysis later revealed the Ward B chime hidden beneath wind and traffic. Slowed 400%, the tape produced a voice. "Pablo Reyes, report to Ward B." At 3 a.m., her phone paged itself. Screen message, code blue, U. By dawn, the lot was empty again, but car alarms across the district began beeping in threes. 2 short, 1 falling. Hospitals don't die. They go quiet, like lungs holding their last breath. And inside that silence, the walls remember the rhythm of every heart that ever stopped there. Ward B was demolished. Its wires were pulled, its bricks hauled away, but the sound remained, trapped in the frequency between electricity and prayer. Every night, somewhere in the static, it finds a new wire, a new signal, a new listener. So if you ever hear a pager go off in the dark, 2 short beeps and 1 falling note, and the voice that follows says your name, don't answer, don't even breathe, because the moment you do, you've told it where to find you. And Ward B never hangs up. I am the voice in the dark, and this is Whispers at Dark.
They're listening.
When the world sleeps, the whispers never end.